So we're standing here next to Sean Nanton, the creative director of Codemasters. And yes, let's talk about Flashpoint. So let's start off with the storyline.
So basically what we've got is a campaign that's set a couple of years in the future, around 2013, that sees the US Marine Corps having pushed the insurgents out of Afghanistan and into Tajikistan, which is a neighbouring country. So the US follow them into there, and they're kind of doing their business there with the counterinsurgency operations and so on. And then China borders Tajikistan as well, and the Chinese decide to take action against these insurgents themselves. And as the US, you find yourself caught in the middle of these two forces.
Okay, so what are the biggest changes in the game, and what are some new features?
Okay, so some of the big changes, I mean, we've really sort of tried to make the game more accessible, so new players coming to the game can get to grips with it very quickly. Visually, we've really stepped up the visuals. We're using the same lighting tech that our racing games use now as well, so it looks beautiful. And on top of that, we've completely rebuilt the behind the gun experience, so the way that it handles, the way that it moves, brand new animations. But the big new features for me is the ability to choose a class, a scout, a rifleman, a grenadier, or an auto rifleman. And then once you've chosen the class, you can customize your loadout, you can choose which weapons you want, and you can choose what attachments, what scopes, what grenade launchers, and so on and so on. So lots of choices and lots of freedom for the player.
Did you also release new multiplayer game modes?
The game is co-op only, so there's no competitive multiplayer in there, it's just co-op. It's built all around co-op. There's 4 game modes in the game that are just for co-op. Last Stand, Rolling Thunder, Combat Search and Rescue, and Combat Sweep. And the idea of these is that you can kind of just jump in and have a quick half-hour play.
Well, this time around you introduced perks into the game. Will this compromise the realism of the game?
I don't think so. I mean, at the end of the day, you're never going to get something 100% real, and I think if you lose sleep over that kind of stuff, then it's going to kill you, man. So we try to take a slightly looser approach to it. The game's authentic, but it's not a military simulation. It's about fun. It's about engaging people. So the perks, as you call them, they're kind of grounded in realism, in the sense that it's things like they're actually based on the kind of extracurricular training that the Marines do. So improved accuracy. You get more ammo, quicker reload times, and so on. So there's nothing like you can't drop a nuke on someone or anything like that. They're all pretty sort of pretty realistic types of modifications you can make to your character.
Okay, so you guys are really focused on the realism of the game. Did you actually work with real militaries?
We deal with the US Marines quite a lot. We have a lot of communication with them, but at the end of the day, because the game's actually set in the future, we are allowed to take a few liberties with it, because we can take it that way. We talk to a lot of experts, military experts, and so on. We get a lot of time handling the real weapons and stuff as well. We get the engineers to handle them so they can feel what they're like and how heavy they are and so on. So we try to do our best, yeah.
Okay, well, last but not least, is this game gonna have a bug-free launch? Because in your last release, we had a long time of bug fixes.
You can name me a game that's had a bug-free launch. I'll answer your question then, okay?
Yeah, well, you're actually right, but...
Yeah. Now, obviously, I think one of the things that we had in Dragon Rising was it was very ambitious, and the scope of it was very big. We tried to do a lot of things, basically, and we tried to please a lot of people. And you know what they say about trying to please a lot of people? You can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more focused this time. I think some of the issues that we had last time, we've got a lot to do with online, and lots of players playing online. But with 4-player co-op, of course, that shouldn't be an issue, because your bandwidth is a lot better managed. The game's in test at the minute, so at the end of the day, Sony and Microsoft have to approve the game. They have to test it, and they have to say, yep, that's good to go. So fingers crossed, we should all be good.
Okay, well, I'm very excited to play the game. Do you actually have a release date already planned?
I think we're looking at mid-April, I think. I don't know the exact date yet, because it's kind of moving around because of the products are good. But late April is when we're expecting to see it there.